Another week of talking golf, and who better to be joined by, of course, than the Action Network's Jason Sobel. Jason, how's it going?
I'm terrific today. How are you, Adam?
I am great. Of course, we are coming up upon here the Hewlett Packard Enterprise Houston Open. Of course, that is taking place in Houston, Texas, and you have to start right there toward the top of the board. You got Sam Burns on the DK Sportsbook. He is plus 1,200 to win this event. He has been hot, 3 straight top 15 finishes. How do you look at him here?
Adam, I love Sam Burns. I love everything about him. I'm on the record as saying I think Sam Burns contends in his first Masters next April. I think Sam Burns makes the U.S. Ryder Cup team in 2023. I am all in on Sam Burns. Fantastic player. As you mentioned, 3 straight top 15 finishes. I'm just not in on Sam Burns' number this week. Boy, that is a low price, a short price for Sam Burns at the top of the odds board this week. And so I'm going to fade him with some trepidation. Now, if you want to go after him for a top 10, a top 20 at a very conservative number and conservative play, I'm okay with that. But I'm not betting Sam Burns as an outright at just 12-1 this week.
How much are you paid by the time that you say Sam Burns?
How much are you paid by the time that you say Hewlett Packard Enterprise Houston Open?
Touche, my friend. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking to some degree about Sam Burns, because while he is the favorite, while he does look good, at least to some degree, going into this weekend, he is not the only guy that we are going to talk about. How about Tony Finau? He's another high-profile guy going into this event. He's not been great in recent memory. I mean, obviously, there was the Ryder Cup. That was good. But other than that, some of these tournaments, not where he'd like to be. How do you feel about Finau going into this one?
So I liked Tony Finau last week on a shorter course at Mayakoba, but didn't play great. He finished somewhere in the 40s as his final result. Nothing terrible, nothing great. I do like Tony on a longer golf course as well. Not one of my favorites this week. I'm probably not chasing him, but I think big things are right around the corner for Finau. So again, it's with a little trepidation that I fade him this week. I mean, it's not like I don't like him. I like Tony Finau all the time, but this week, there's some plays that I like a little bit better, but Finau is capable of winning on any given week. He really is.
Finau is a plus 2,500. Behind him, Brooks Koepka at plus 2,800. And, you know, he's someone, again, hasn't been exactly where he would like to be going into this thing. He performed pretty well at the CJ Cup not too long ago. But aside from that, what's your view on him?
Okay, so a few things for Brooks Koepka this week. First of all, he worked as a consultant under Tom Doak when they were renovating Memorial Park, where they're having the tournament this week. Brooks kind of puts his hands up a little and says, I didn't do that much. I consulted a little bit. They asked me some questions. I helped out, but I didn't do that much. That said, he played when it returned to this course last year and finished in a share of 5th place after a run of some not great results going into that one. I'll throw on top of that the fact that he missed the cut last week, which for a lot of players, that would mean, well, he's probably not playing that well. That said, in his last 4 missed cuts, his following start, Brooks Koepka has finished 1st, 2nd, missed cut, and 4th. And so if there's anybody that's going to bounce back very, very quickly from a missed cut, it's Brooks Koepka. Now, the caveat here is a couple of those were major championships where he always tends to play better than he plays in the regular event. So we'll see if that carries over to a non-major championship this week. But again, if there's someone who can come back from a missed cut the previous week, I think Brooks Koepka can be that guy on a course that suits him a lot better than that one did a week ago.
What are some long shots that you're backing here for the Houston Open?
I have so many long shots on the card this week, Adam. So
Please.
I think it's really important this week. Look, you can hit it long and straight on any golf course in the world, and it's going to help. It's never a bad thing to hit it really far and really straight. That said, at Memorial Park, which plays more than 7,400 yards as a par 70, I think long and straight is more of an advantage than it is on some other venues on the PGA Tour. And so guys that I'm looking at for long shots are guys who are really good drivers of the golf ball. Keith Mitchell, he was 11th in strokes gained off the tee last season. He's already 27th this season. Really good driver of the ball. He's got a big number next to his name this week. I really like Keith Mitchell a lot. Cam Davis hasn't had a top 25 finish since his win this past summer, but another guy who drives it really well. Trey Mullinax, Taylor Pendrith, Brandon Hagee, a few other names, all guys further down the board, but there are a lot of long shots that I don't mind taking a chance on this week.
Okay, so you like the long shots, but you can't possibly like everybody here, Jason. So who are you fading?
Oh, fades are tough this week. I'm probably fading guys who, quite honestly, don't play well on these longer golf courses. Matt McNeely is a name that has popped up a handful of times over the last few months where he's been playing some really consistent golf. I've mentioned with you on this segment a few times, Adam, that I look at him as sort of the Charles Howell of the current generation. That is by no means a backhanded compliment. I love the fact that he cashes checks. He goes out there and has seemingly a good finish every week. And he should have another fine finish, but plays his best golf on shorter golf courses. So he's just an example here. But guys who tend to play better on a 7,000, a 7,100-yard golf course, I think 74-30 is what it is this week on a par 70. I'd fade those guys and look for the guys who are the bigger hitters instead.
We need a pick to win the Hewlett Packard Enterprise Houston Open. Who do you have?
I'm going with a guy who's trending very, very much in the right direction. And again, as I mentioned last week with you, that I look at strokes gain motivation this time of year. I'm looking for guys who are hungry, guys who have some desire. Matt Wolff, for a long time this year, he was kind of lost, both in his professional life, maybe in his personal life just a little bit. And he's been very outward and vocal and honest and upfront about sort of the things that were hurting him as far as on and off the golf course earlier this year. Looks to be in a very good place right now, both mentally and with his game, because he's finished top 5 in each of his last 2 starts, including a share of 5th place last week at Mayakoba, where he opened with a 61, closed with a 65. This guy can go as low as anybody in a hurry. If he gets those bogeys off the card, I think he's going to be in a really good shape this week. Good driver of the golf ball. Matthew Wolff is my play this week.